is that moment we've all been waiting for. I'm also waiting because I'm itching to ask her a lot of questions. Her name is Yesomi Egbe. You're welcome to Saturday Night.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I've always known of Miss Nigeria, and now there's a Mrs. Nigeria.
Yes.
What's that all about? Please throw some light on it.
The Mrs. Nigeria competition is a competition that celebrates the accomplishments of married women as they already are. You know, what do I mean by that? Married women are mothers, they're wives, they're career women, and then some of them still have time to reach out to the society. So all that put together is what we are celebrating in Mrs. Nigeria International. The mother company, Mrs. International, every year, every July, looks for a representative from each country of the world to partake in the Mrs. International finals. And then every woman there must have a humanitarian cause she's representing. And last year, I won the pageant in Nigeria. And I went to the US, and I'm still promoting exclusive breastfeeding of infants for the first 6 months of life, which we all know is a Millennium Development Goal, one of the Millennium Development Goals of the United Nations.
Okay, so did they also put the criteria? Because you sound like a good speaker. Was that part of one of the reasons why you won?
Of course, the criteria is you must be married for at least 6 months. You must have
6 months?
At least 6 months. Because at least after 6 months, there's a test already in marriage. Like I always say, even the first few months in marriage is like, everybody's like bumping into each other.
I think they should make it 10 years.
Oh, 10 years. Then
when you are 10 years in marriage, then they can give you a certificate and say, come on, you have tried. You have crossed the line.
But
yes.
I tell you, honestly, if you have, you've crossed the bridge after 6 months, then I think that there's a level of stability you will enjoy. I'm not saying that it works out after 6 months, but really after the first few months, when you've come to know your wife or your husband, your spouse, you kind of okay, we can go on at least to the first year and second year, and then from there. I'm going to be the 3rd year in my marriage, December this year, and I would still categorically say that the first few months where I was like, is this the man I married? My husband's like, is this the woman? And all these pere and psychedelic things. You kind of see the real person, and then you're like, oh, can I go on with this person, or would I stop this marriage, So 6 months is okay, at least 6 months.
Okay, so people would just dive in there, stay 6 months, apply for the Mrs. Nigeria, I beg to say, competition, and then when they take it and say, okay, oh boy, it's a contract, so I can nicely go back to my normal life. One of the things
that the pageant seeks to strengthen is the marriage institution.
Okay.
How? Your husband gets to... Okay, let me go to the judging categories.
All right.
You are judged by your humanitarian cause. That takes 50% of your scores. Then there's the fitness, where you wear gym clothes, no swimsuit, because we're married women. Of course, we're promoting decency and morals. And then that's 25%. And then finally, your evening gown session. There you have to walk on the stage with your evening gown. Your husband wears his tuxedo, and then you guys meet at the middle of the stage. Most husbands kiss their wives at that point, to look very romantic. And then the man has to escort his wife round the stage. So the idea is like bonding husbands and wives together. So even if you're in a contract marriage, the whole experience of the pageant will kind of bring you guys closer. I'm not saying afterwards you cannot say, oh, let's quit this thing, I've won or something. But it kind of you see the amazing part of marriage, the fact that you and your husband can do many cool things together, Last year, when I went to the US, I came top 16 by the grace of God and won the Mrs. Africa award. But the woman who won the Mrs. International in the United States, she's a mother of 3 children. At the fitness part, she had this 6-pack. She had really gymmed. She had 3 children, and she has a Guinness World Record for collecting the most shoes to be recycled for children in Asia and Africa. So when she won, everybody's like, you deserved it. But what I'm trying to say is that she was crowned by her husband, and her children were all around her when she won. It's a beautiful picture of family life. It's something that when you see it, you're like, oh, I want this. It's not like, oh, I just want to get married, win, and get out. No, you want I love this. I love the beauty. I love the fact that married women can still come out to showcase the beauty God has given them. I know God's beauty is not just outward, it is inside.
Okay, so the likes of us cannot apply.
Of course, you can.
Big people. Is there a category for big size?
Honestly, we are looking for a married woman who, like I said, is a career woman. And when I mean career, I mean she might be a full-time housewife, because those guys work harder than most of us out there. And you must have a humanitarian cause. I believe that every woman is beautiful, because we have a standard. In Proverbs 31, the Bible talks about a woman who her husband praises, her children praise her. And then the Bible says that beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised, and let her works praise her. Her works. So they're talking about the beauty being vain, but her works will praise her. Her fear of God will praise her. Her husband praises her, and her children. So those are the criteria we're looking for. You might be big, but you have so much insight to show to the world, and that can earn you the crown.
Okay, so let's go back a bit.
Okay.
Now we have Mrs. Nigeria.
Yes.
And we have Miss Nigeria.
Yes.
How do we correlate both titles?
Okay.
Especially since we all know about Miss
yes.
Nigeria.
Okay, first of all, let me just tell you what I get. Like when I go like, oh, Mrs. Nigeria, I feel like, are you sure it's Mrs. or Miss? I'm like, Mrs. They're like, no, maybe they're like, you are confused. It's Miss. I'm like, no, it's Mrs. You know, because everybody's used to the Miss thingy. Yes. But like I always say, every Miss that is sane wants to be a Mrs. someday. So this pageant is like the future of all pageants. Is the future of the teen pageants, the baby pageants, the Miss pageants. Why? Because there gets a point in life where you say, oh, I want to settle down. Except you want to be a nun, which is also good. God wants that. But you want to settle down. And even in that, you still want to be able to showcase your beauty. And when I say beauty, I will still emphasize that I'm saying inward and outward beauty, because even in the Miss pageants, they're now going back to the essence of saying it's not just about beauty, it's about brains. So but the Mrs. pageant now shows that yes, this woman has even gone beyond just being a single woman. She's taking care of a man at home, a husband. She has children that she's running around for. She does school runs. Like I present a live program on Edo Broadcasting Service, a technology program, because I'm an inventor. You know, so
inventor?
Yes, okay. I invented a construction robot. I exhibited it at the Edo Technology seminar in 2011 and won a grant from the governor. It was an amazing project, and it's a project I'm still going to work on. But we're talking about beauty and brains. Beauty. Now, this married woman has left the singlehood, and she's now taking care of people. She's committed to a number of people. She's not just on her own. She's also a career woman, impacting the world through what she's doing. And then she also still has time. For instance, I go to hospitals and tell women the benefits of breastfeeding, which is amazing. Honestly, I tell women, even I won't say forget your baby. Your baby gets a lot, but even it reduces your risk of breast cancer. So it's amazing. So I go from hospital to hospital in my spare time, and sometimes I create time for it. Now, this woman, she's able to do all these things, and she can still look good. That's the kind of woman we are celebrating.
Great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, nicely put. Yeah. Now, I want to ask this question. Miss Nigeria and Mrs. Nigeria, are they owned by same parent company? Is it same organization?
No.
Different organizations?
Yes.
And there's no clash?
No
conflict of interest?
No, not at all. Because Miss is for single ladies. And I would not... The Misses, there's a high ethical and moral standards we emphasize. Why? Because we will not allow any married woman come out to be like nudity. But we don't promote nudity, exposure of anything. All we are celebrating is what, as I said, a married woman as she already is. You don't have to show flesh to be a better married woman. You understand? You can be as you are. You're already perfect.
And you don't have to lose weight too.
No, you don't. No, No, it's open to big women, small women, skinny, fat, whatever. You know, all you have to do is just meet the criteria. So there's no conflict of interest.
Speaking of criteria, what are the criteria?
Okay, first you must be married for at least 6 months. You must be between the ages of 21 to 50. I know that's a wide one, but like I said, the woman that won last year, she was almost 40. And I was a lot younger than her, but it was because she had a Guinness World Record for collecting shoes. So the humanitarian cause is the most important. So just forget about your age. You might be 50, but you're doing a great thing. Just come. And then you must have, like I just mentioned, a humanitarian cause. Married, you must be a career woman, like I said. You must be doing something, selling stuff, doing beads, whatever. But we want women that are not lazy, just in the house waiting for something to drop, you know. We want women that are industrious, you know. So those are like the basic criteria. Married, 21 to 50, humanitarian cause. Once you have that, all women are beautiful. God made us all beautiful. So voila, you can apply for the pageant. It's coming up this year, like I said.
How do you apply?
And we have a website, www.mrsnigeriainternational.org.
Okay.
You go there and you click apply. There's a form you fill online and then you submit. And then we ask you to send in your picture and you're part of the team already. And then we invite you for auditions. The competition is coming up May 24th to 30th. The women are going to be camped in a hotel. And then we're going to be given tasks, but it's community development center tasks, like going to orphanages and seeing how they would respond to things like real life situations when you're like assisting people. And then the last day, which is Saturday, your husband must be part of it. We're going to have the Nigerian version of the Mrs. International Party. We're going to have the traditional category. Why? Because we want you and your husband to dress in, let's say for instance, you're Mrs. Abia. We want your husband to be Mr. Abia. He doesn't need to wear a sash, but he dresses like the male part of the Abia costume. And then the evening gown session, your husband also gets to escort you, just like how it is in the Mrs. International in the US.
I'm a bit confused here. You know why?
Okay.
Because you're beginning to sound like you own the thing instead of, I was originally talking to a queen.
Okay.
Queen, 2014 Miss Nigeria winner.
Yes.
But the way you're sounding right now, you're sounding like,
Okay, like I know so much about it.
Yes.
Okay. Last year, I went to represent Nigeria in the US, like I said, talking about breastfeeding. And then when the competition was over, I talked to the management of the Miss International. This is a very laudable thing. I feel we should do it in Nigeria. Why? Because last year it was an online selection, meaning that they sent in entries for women to apply from Nigeria. I sent in my entry, that's my picture, talked about my humanitarian cause. I have an NGO where we promote exclusive breastfeeding, like I said. And then I sent him all the activities, the materials of the activities we've been doing, going to hospital, the pictures and all that. And then talked about my family life. And I was sent an email later on that I was chosen to represent Nigeria. So I went to the US July 24th to 25th to represent my country.
All expense paid?
All expense paid. Coming back to Nigeria, I'm like, this is, you guys, because I could have lied about doing breastfeeding, I could just send you pictures and blah. So why don't we do something here and then we pick a winner who we know we in Nigeria can screen and say, oh, you are really doing this stuff. We can monitor you. And then we send you that winner. You know that she's a bona fide qualified person that can also compete with women from all over the world. So I got the franchise and that's where we are. That's why it seems like I know so much and I'm into the business part of it and I'm also the current queen promoting the pageant. So that's where we are.
Interesting twist.
And then I want to say something. We have gotten entries from women in Nigeria so far because we're doing some publicity. And one of them, like my big brother knows one of the contestants, one of the what's the word now? The intending contestants. And he said she has started to promote her own humanitarian cause. She started it, as in she hadn't started before this pageant. When she heard about the pageant and she knew that one of the 50% of your scores goes into humanitarian cause, she started to do something, I think it's on breast cancer awareness. And she's going from one place to another doing breast cancer awareness just because of this pageant. So we're trying to say, women, we need you to stop living for just you, me, myself, and my kids, to me, myself, my kids, and the society. I always cite something. Martin Luther died when he was in his 30s. We don't know how much he had in the bank account. We don't know if he had cars. We don't know if he had houses. But we know that he fought for black people in America. And he has a day dedicated to him in a white country, America, because of what he did. So everybody is not remembered for what they accumulate, but what you contribute. So we're saying, women, leave that comfort zone and start to do something. That is what this pageant is about. Apart from consolidating the marriage institution, leave your comfort zone. Go out, touch somebody. That is what you'll be remembered for.
I also noticed that you're very simple.
Yes.
Most times when I'm talking to a beauty queen,
Yes.
you see glitterati,
Yes.
epitomized
Yes.
in the personality.
Yes.
But here you are, very simple.
Yes.
Your shoes,
Yes.
your breasts, your everything.
Yes.
You don't even have jewelry on you.
Yes.
And then the makeup is, I think you're just wearing a lip gloss because
Yes.
I've been naturally assessing you.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Is this part of...
To be honest, this is purposeful.
All right.
Yes, purposeful. First of all, I see this as a vision for me. When I mean vision, I'm talking about reaching out to women and talking about something beyond the outward. I contested for Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria 2005. So I've been in the, what's the word now, the showbiz blonde. Yeah, you know, the glitz and whatever. But I wanna go back to basics, and I and my husband agreed on this. There's a scripture in 1 Peter 3:4 about the inward.
Are you a pastor as well?
I'm not. I'm just a winner. And when you're a winner, you kind of like it just kind of like it flows out of your heart, you know.
Okay.
He talked about the inward, the hidden man of the heart. So my husband, honestly, that's why I said this pattern kind of like makes you submit and work in the way that marriage should be. My husband said, my wife, when you go out, I want you to show that thing inside. I don't want people to just be what's the word, blinded by what's outside, like the whole glitterati and all that, which is very important. I'm not ruling that out, but I want you to speak from inside, and I want that glory of the Lord that comes from inside to show through.
Okay.
So it is on purpose.
Okay.
You understand? That is why I'm simple. You won't always say when you're going out, do not wear. I didn't used to like makeup, but do not wear too much makeup. That's what he always says.
Okay.
So
I also noticed that you're not wearing a ring.
Okay, that one is.
You forgot it at home.
No. That one is not because of I'm a winner. So I believe in jewelry, but how like it? It was stolen actually. It was stolen, and that was recently. Yeah, my ring was stolen.
Well, it's on national television. We must find the thief. Who stole it? How did it happen?
We went to a hotel in my husband's village, so I removed it because I wanted to have my bath. I normally remove it, and then when we went out and came back, I actually forgot. I didn't wear it when I went out. By the time we came back, I kind of just packed and we were going out, and I was like, oh, my ring. And I went back into the hotel and I checked the rooms and I just didn't find it anymore. And I called the people downstairs and they're like, nobody entered the room and all that. So it was just like, okay, whatever, let's just let it go, because we can't start making trouble over that, But I assure you that my husband is bringing a very large diamond, to give me for very soon. His birthday is on Wednesday next week, so I believe that's his surprise. And I hope you're hearing me. Please make that your surprise for me.
You're beginning to wear that married woman.
That kind of thing.
Very well. You're fitting into that jacket. When you want your husband to buy you something, you start in different ways. You just hint him,
of course,
and of course, things will go. Yeah. You see, the beauty about you is you look young. Are you very young?
I am quite young, but not that young.
Okay, how old are you?
Okay, you want to really know my age?
Yes, okay, because of course you would have said that. I mean,
okay,
to
sure.
Be open,
of course, yes.
Figure
of course, I'm 29.
29?
Yes.
Wow. So where did you get all this knowledge from?
Honestly, the only person I can say gave me the knowledge is God, of course. Like, where else, Nobody else has such wisdom. So it's just God. Like, from the beginning, like I said, I invented the robots. I've been unconventional. I worked in a construction company. I was the only female engineer. I've always been kind of like that. I won the Institute of Engineering and Technology engineering presenting competition. I was the first Nigerian to go to France to talk about my robots. I've kind of like done first things. Even my program on EBS, the Technology Unlimited, is kind of like the first in Edo State, or even, let me even say Nigeria, because we don't really have an inventor interviewing other inventors about their works. So when I ask them, oh, what are you doing? They showcase their work on television. And then I also tell them I'm an inventor. So the respect is there. I'm not just one, bystander that doesn't know anything about inventions.
And you're also the first Mrs. Nigeria to grace Saturday night.
Yes.
Isn't that awesome?
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Please, you have a younger sister?
Yes, I do. She's studying French.
Okay. I'm applying on behalf of my brother.
Oh, okay.
Or is she taken?
No, I don't think so.
I like you.
If she's taking, she better tell me now, because she told me she doesn't have a boyfriend. So I let me just catch her. So if your brother is really cool and everything, no problem.
I like this package, wife material. When you see them, you can actually smell their their fragrance from a distance. You have it, and please keep it up. Don't derail in any way.
No, I won't.
It's such a pleasure having you on Saturday night.
Thank you very much, Tekla.
Yeah, pleasure. Yeah, and so viewers, on that note, we say thank you for staying tuned to this week's edition of Saturday Night. Until next week, like I always say, be kind to one another.